Alright, that'll tell me on YouTube. So, thank you for everyone for showing up. We're going to be playing more Mass Effect 1. I've got on my phone a list of side quests and how to start them. These are the side quests I want to do specifically to import the decisions over. There's a whole bunch of them. I've got them kind of in a priority list, so that's what I'm going to work on. So let me do that. I can barely hear it, but I had that. It's pretty much why you don't eat fruit with bats. Alright. So, when we last left off, I just cleared Novaria. So, let me check something real quick. Yeah. So I just cleared Novaria. So now I've got... Yeah, I don't need to do that, thank you. I don't need to speak to Lorik at all, matter of fact. Lorik is pointless. And I could go do Pharos. However, I believe when I go into the galaxy map, I'm going to get a bunch of phone calls. So, yeah, phone calls. Yeah, by the way, I hate NVIDIA. Just for the record. That's what I updated earlier. I updated my graphics drivers and it messed with everything.
Do you have some time to talk now, Commander?
Of course.
Of course. Have a seat.
We've played it pretty close to the book so far, but we're a long way from backup. We've got some tough calls to make. I'm just saying, try to leave yourself a way out. I've seen what cutting corners can do, and I'd hate to have that happen to you, Shepard. Commander.
That's not the appropriate way to address your commanding officer, Lieutenant.
I wasn't speaking to you as my commanding officer, ma'am. I don't want to send any bad signals. Just, working on what I've picked up. You tell me if I'm going too far.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you take a seat over there?
We haven't had much off-duty time to talk. You have an issue with how things are going?
I'm not questioning any decision you've made, Shepard. Let me be clear about that. It's just my experience that once someone lets something slide, it tends to pick up speed. Do you get my meaning?
Talk to me, Caden. You got a little black rain cloud sitting over your head.
I'll try to keep the deck dry. You know the records about the biotic training out on Jump Zero? They're all classified because the Alliance made mistakes. After first contact, Kinetics was set up to track Element Zero exposures and develop implants for humans. Once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Kinetics could bring in experts instead of taking it slow.
Yes, Angie, my humor is incredibly dry.
Is there some reason we couldn't learn it on our own?
They didn't know where to start. Hell, it took a couple of years to even link biotics and Ezo. Forget trying to get the kids to move stuff. They had trouble just helping them not break their own limbs. And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
The only experts would have to be aliens.
Dead on. Turians, actually. That's why Kinetics kept it a secret. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for help when we just fought a war with them.
Oh god, the Angie rocket
would have been more acceptable than the Turians.
Yes, but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
I'm sure Kinetics did what they thought was best.
It wasn't best for us. They brought in an ex-military Turian named Commander Vernus. To introduce himself, he liked to say, I was at the helm of the dreadnought that killed your father. Well, I told him my dad wasn't in the war. He'd retired to Vancouver. My family had an inland home that matured to new beachfront. Vernus had it in for me after that. He cut corners, pushed hard. I mean, you either came out a Superman or a wreck. A lot of kids snapped. A few died. The point of all of this, I guess, is that when you cut corners, it's not always obvious who pays for it.
So why are you telling me this? Is there something I can do to help you get over it?
I'm 32, Shepard. You don't serve as long as I have without coming to terms with yourself. You also learn that if someone is special to you, you help them. Try to keep them from making mistakes.
Special, huh?
If I'm out of line, just say the word.
Like I said, we're totally going to romance Caden for the express purpose of breaking his heart.
You're not out of line, Caden. But there are regs.
I get you, Shepard. I don't make a habit of complicating the chain of command. Just think about what I said.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal...
We'll talk later, Caden.
Alright. There is the Caden conversations. Yes, Angie. Cause really it's Garrus. Garrus is gonna be our love target once we are capable of doing so. Unfortunately, however, we cannot do that until Mass Effect 2, so... Oh yeah, TBS, great work at everything they do. So a couple little things. If you missed my little newsletter post, TBS is a TV station out here, Angie, in the US. Their tagline is "We know drama." Alright, let's start with Rex.
What do you want, Shepard?
Alright.
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
What? What the heck, Nate? TBS is very strange. Also, Angie, you're not missing much. TBS is just sort of exists.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes. A meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
Sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
I love how it's just casually, it's like, by the way, it was my dad who did all this crap.
Jared was your father?
He was, until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
You must have family other than your father. Don't you miss them?
You trying to make me cry, Shepard? I've got some unfinished business with my family, but that's all.
What kind of business?
Before I left, I made an oath to my father's father. I swore to recover my family's battle armor. It was taken from him after the uprising.
What's so important about this armor?
It's a relic. Useless, really. But it was worn by 5 generations of my family before the war. It's rightfully mine. Originally, it was taken by the Turian military. We weren't allowed armor or weapons after the war. Now, it's in the hands of Taun Actus, a Turian scum who collects relics from the war. He's made millions selling Krogan artifacts that were stolen from my people. He's got several bases where he stores his goods, all fortified and guarded. I just don't know which base has my family's armor.
Oh, we're totally... Well, I say we're gonna look for it, but,
Just tell me where to
I
start
got a
looking.
list.
I'll upload the data to your nav system. But, Commander, I want to be there when you find him.
No problem, Rex.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
We will bring you along for the murder. Alright, let's see if we can get Garrus's to trigger. Because we got Rex's. Don't need to worry about that. This one I need to worry about. Conrad. Yeah, there's only a couple in ME1, actually.
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with C-Sec a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
Ah, okay, so this is where we're gonna get that. Thane is awesome. So, a couple things real quick before I continue this. One, I'm going to probably use a save editor after I beat Mass Effect 1 to jack my level to 60 to get the bonus in ME2. And I also am going to have to use a save editor in ME2 to fix a bug. There is a really strange bug that Nate told me about. So that's going to be weird.
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, but I needed to pursue.
Bless you, sweetie.
But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the psychos. I remember this one Elcor diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs, had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
Yeah, see, I'm not going to be playing ME1 long enough to worry about installing all of that. Straight up. Besides, most of us know what happens in ME2.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
Nope. No, they won't. Oh, he'll still be a pretty boy, Angie. He'll still be a pretty boy.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
I think it was just like somebody's making a killing out there talking about 4 packs of Krogan testicles. Ooh. Ooh, dog it.
What'd you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
You mean threatening? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
Don't forget to order your 4-pack of Krogan testicles today. It'll increase your virility and counteract the genophage. Down at Big Ernie's Crazy Testicle Factory.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
Hey, Raven! Welcome! Thanks for stopping by, and yes, of course, we gotta get the shameless product placement. It's not like I have, majority stakeholder in Crazy Ernie's Krogan Testicle Emporium. That has nothing to do with any of this.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
I'm gonna be like...
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties. The ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs. They wouldn't listen.
No wonder you hated it there. Those idiots just let him fly away.
Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
I suppose I can see both sides. But what's done is done.
I suppose. Can't waste too much time worrying about it now. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
Now, we are going to teach Garrus to be a good boy, but, that is definitely a... Clay personally would want to shoot the terrifying genetic man.
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was hoping to get a minute of your time. Off the record.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
And here we have the xenophobia.
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
That's enough, Chief. You always second-guess your superiors?
Ma'am, no ma'am. I'm sorry, I was out of line. I'll get back to my duties, Commander.
You're damn right you will, Ashley. She is intimidated by the surplus of testicles kept in these handy containers.
Looking for supplies?
Yes.
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
Let's see if he's changed up anything. I think I did get the... Yeah, okay. So I did get the Elkos license. Good. Good. I do have the Elkos license. Okay, so I'm using a Kessler 3. is way fucking better. Okay. Do I have anything I need to sell? Nah, just a bunch of oh, maybe that. Maybe the heavy armor. Oh, thank you for the host, Rabin. Thank you, thank you. Y'all should check out Zero Gravity Theater, by the way. I do enjoy watching him myself. He is a trip and a half. By the way, Tali's companion side quest is going to drive me bonkers. Like, legitimately bonkers. So, to do hers, I have to actually complete a thing called the UNC Geth Incursions, which are 4 separate strongholds to access a 5th stronghold, and in the 5th stronghold, I can just happen to find the Geth data that I can then give to Tali. She never actually gives you a quest to fucking do it. God help me. And I think I can get one of those
Shepard,
now.
I'm glad you're here.
Alright, but we're still gonna make friends with her.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Saren's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
Alright. Nate, everything I'm saying says you have to find it on the 5th one, so if I can find it, and if I can just skip to the last stronghold and go straight in, I'll do it. Yes, Tali is awesome. I realize often that you are.
You'll find something to take back.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So are you some kind of heir to the Quarian throne or something?
No, it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen, but it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
Also, hey, Saverick.
You must get all kinds of special privileges.
I probably had it easier than most growing up, but it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
No, you're a complete unknown to me, Sav. It's not like I've spoken to you and talked to you almost daily for like 3 years. Nope, no idea who you are.
That must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian's ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth. But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not easy. They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never went beyond the borders of the Veil. And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
I should go.
See you later.
No problem, Sav. The only person on this ship who ain't gonna get good treatment is frickin' Ashley Williams. Everyone else will be fine. So we've got Find Dr. Salion. We got family armor. Awesome. Awesome. That is exactly what I wanted to see. Alright. Later, Sav. Have fun with your Dragon Age game. Oh, you know what's going to happen to Ashley.